Hi, Peter Charles here, Hooked Fly Fishing. And have you ever been in a situation where you have encountered a lovely looking pool and you said, man, there's got to be some fish there. And then you look around and you can't make a cast. You don't know how you're going to get the fly to where you think the fish are. And a lot of that is because we become so locked into using our dominant hand, and I'm a right-hander, so my right hand, that we're not able to make a cast when the situation demands that we cast on the other side of our body. Or we get fooled by wind, or where the wind keeps blowing on our casting shoulder, and we can't get a cast off because the fly is being blown into us. So when we're in those situations, being able to cast on the other side of your body is very handy. Being able to spey cast in either side of your body is even handier. So I've got two clips I'm going to put up. First off, I'm going to go over out in my backyard, and we're going to just do a little session with me pretending I'm on the river because, it's COVID-19 business. I can't get out on the river right now. The other clip is actually from a few years ago. I was doing a rod review on the Loomis Shore Stalker 8'5" weight, and during that process I was backed up against the bank. There was bushes behind me, and you see what I went through because I didn't want to get too close to the pool. I'd already spooked a bass earlier on, so I wanted to stay back from the pool, make a relatively long cast, and do it with all that junk behind me. So let's first off take a look at my session in the backyard. Okay, thanks to COVID-19, we're out in my backyard instead of being on the river. We're in the lockdown, so I'm not on the river to do this. But it doesn't matter, I can show you what's involved here if we're in an awkward situation. I've got a rose bush right here. I've got fences, I've got trees over there. And if I try to cast with my right hand in this fashion, I'd be whacking everything. So instead, I can do a number of things. I can cast across my body in this fashion and get a cast off, or I can keep my hand on my right side and be able to cast off my left by putting my rod tip over there. But both those methods don't get the fly that far away from me. If I want to get the fly further out that way, I can go left-handed. And now I've got the fly a little further away. I can make a cast, and I can even get a little bit more of an angle change out of it just by using my left hand. So you say to yourself, well, I'll never be able to learn that. That's too difficult. But the reality is most of us, with a bit of practice, can learn to cast with a left hand. And the thing is, you don't have to be an expert with your left hand. You just have to get a manageable cast out. And if you get into that situation like I'm here, where I can't use my right hand very well, this makes a great opportunity to get a cast out and get fishing. And it often makes a difference between whether we catch fish or not, because we could pass up a good situation because we can't cast in it. So you see this great spot, you're like, well, there should be a fish there, but I can't get a cast off. Well, now you can if you get into using your left hand, or right hand if you happen to be a left-handed person, your opposite hand, shall we say. And of course, the other thing we can do, we can always get into roll casts and spey casts, and we can get a cast off in this sort of situation without any problem. So if you're faced with difficult situations, if you have the ability to cast on the opposite side of your body using your opposite hand, or spey casting if you're a good roll caster, you can get a cast off and catch a fish in a situation where other people who can't do that have no choice but to keep on walking and leave that situation alone. Well, that was rather realistic, wasn't it? We had high winds and all that junk around me. So you could imagine me being on a river. It wouldn't be a fence, it would be bushes, but same problem. So you saw me use my left hand. You saw me casting with my right hand over my left shoulder. You saw how I used a spey cast. You can do a lot of different things in those kinds of situations. Also with that wind, if that wind had been coming on my casting shoulder, I could have switched to my other side and still got a cast off. So I've got a bit of footage here of me doing a rod review on the Loomis Shore Stalker 8'5" weight, and I was out fishing for bass, and you can see how I did being able to cast with a lot of junk behind me because I didn't want to get too close to the pool. I'd already spooked a bass earlier. They weren't in very deep water, and they were very, very spooky. So I had to stay way back, which meant I had a lot of junk right behind me, and I had to get a cast off, and I got it off with a cross-body cast, a left-hand cast, and a spey cast. So let's see how that looks like. Smallmouth.
I think we found the fish. They're in deeper water today. And I think we found the fly they like. We weren't going after that dark one. Now let's go left-handed here. Okay, I rested that downstream pool there and just try over there. So here's the advantage of the rod. It loads, there's another one. This guy's not as big. It loads very quickly. So even though I've got stuff behind me and I've having to cast left-handed and spey cast and roll cast, I can still get casts off without any effort. Come back here. I'll let you go. There we go.
So as you can see, it can be done. You can catch fish by being able to cast on different sides of your body, also being able to spey cast. In that particular situation, I risked not being able to catch fish if I moved close enough to that little pool for me to make an overhead cast. The water was low. The fish were skittish. Getting close to a pool was not a good idea. I'd already proven that. So the ability to do that can often make the difference between catching fish and not catching fish. The fact that you can cast off the other side of your body, that you can cast with obstacles behind you, often makes a difference. So I have to say, though, there's no magic bullet. I mean, there's no substitution for going out in your backyard or a local field or pond and just practicing. But you will be surprised how quickly your opposite hand comes around. Don't demand that you can cast as far with your left hand as your right. No, I can't cast as well with my left hand as I can with my right. But the thing is, I can catch fish with my left hand. And as you can see in the video, I did. So, keep that in mind. It's doable. You just have to put a little bit of effort into going into your backyard and just trying it with your left hand. And away you go. It works. So, get out there and practice. You've got nothing better to do with this virus business, right? Cheers.